What's up guys, First Hand Account here with another video, and today we're going to be covering how I set up my Leica Q to shoot high contrast black and white photos. So I actually get this question a lot online. I have a dedicated black and white photography page, and I also take a lot of black and white street photography and post it on my street photography page. So a lot of people were asking me how I set up the Leica Q to shoot high contrast black and white scenes, and everything that you need to shoot really good in-camera black and white photos is actually in the JPEG settings in the menu system. So if you go to the menu of the Leica Q and you scroll all the way down to JPEG settings, the first thing that you want to make sure is that your color is on Adobe RGB and not sRGB. sRGB is used for the web and has a lot less colors and a lot less color information than Adobe RGB. So you want to change that right away to Adobe RGB. The second thing you want to change is the contrast. I put the contrast on medium high or high depending on how much shadow detail that I want to have, but like I said, this is a profile for really high contrast dramatic black and white photos, so just put it on high and see how you like it. If it's too much for you, you can always tone it down and turn it down to medium high or medium to still get a high contrast look without losing as much of the shadow detail. So the next one is the most obvious one. It's the saturation. You want to click on the saturation and you want to change it to monochrome, and basically what that does is it allows you to see everything through the electronic viewfinder in black and white instead of in color. All of these settings are only going to be applied to the JPEGs that you take, so as long as the camera is in RAW plus JPEG, then you'll get a black and white JPEG, and then you'll get the full color RAW shot with the Adobe RGB color information in it. Now this is a feature that can actually work on any mirrorless camera out there. If you have a Sony mirrorless camera, or if you have a Fuji mirrorless camera, or a Panasonic or a Leica or anything like that, if you have an electronic viewfinder, you can actually change the settings in your camera to produce monochrome, just like I set up on the Leica Q, and basically it allows you to see everything through the viewfinder in black and white. That way when you're trying to think about, you know, compositions and think about how you're going to take photos in black and white, you have the preview already there in your viewfinder, so everything you see is already black and white. It makes it a lot easier to take black and white photography and to compose in that genre, because everything that you see, like I said, is in black and white. So the last setting on that page is the sharpness setting, and I actually don't really touch that at all. I leave it to standard. Some people would recommend switching it down to low if you're doing video, or if you're doing photography that you want to be able to control a lot in post, then you can turn the sharpness down and add it later, but I really like the way that Leica's produce their own sharpness, so I leave that on standard, and I don't want any digital sharpening or unsharpening. So the next thing that I do after I plug in all these different settings is I go to the user profiles tab in the menus of the Leica Q. So this is something that was added in the most recent firmware upgrade for the Leica Q, and it allows you to save all of your settings. So it saves your focus information, your focus mode, your drive, your contrast, your sharpness, your auto ISO settings, all that kind of stuff, and it basically saves all those settings into individual user profiles that you can name using the on-screen keyboard, and it allows you to program different modes in there so you can quickly change in between them and use different ones as you please. So I have a color multi-point focus preset, and then I have a black and white multi-point preset. So if I'm out shooting and I decide I want to shoot black and white that day, I can just go to the user profiles, quickly change it to the black and white mode, and start shooting black and white photos. So thank you guys for watching this video, and if you have any questions about how to set this up on the Leica Q, just let me know down below. The Leica Q2 actually has this profile built into it. It has a bunch of kind of simulation modes in the profiles, and high contrast black and white is actually one of the settings inside of those profiles that they already already put in the Leica Q2, so you don't have to set up this profile if you have the new camera. But if you have an older Leica Q like I do, then this is kind of a workaround way to put a high contrast black and white profile into the camera and be able to see the world in black and white and compose those shots a lot easier. So if you guys are interested in how I edit my black and white photography, I also have a preset that I sell on my website. The link will be down below if you guys want to check it out. Every purchase helps support me and helps support this channel, so I really appreciate it. If you guys want to check out my Instagram accounts, I have a street photography account and then a main account. They're linked down below as well. And as always, thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.